We'll look at our personal traits and our flaws and all that jazz. Be
All
fun.
right, we are now officially live. Hey guys, Nerdarchy Dave here for Nerds by Nerds. Nerdarchy, obviously, you found our channel, and we're going to be playing some live Dungeons and Dragons. And we have the Scarlet Sisterhood of Steel and Sorcery. It's kind of a reboot of a game we attempted back in like July or August or sometime. And we had some technical difficulties, and then life got in the way. But we are back, and we have a new member joining us. We have staff writer Megan, staff writer Samantha, and our friend Vex. And you guys want to go over your characters real quick, and then I will kind of run do the I guess recap of where the game had left off and where we're at now.
All right. I guess I'll start, huh?
Sure.
All right. My name is my character's name is Agnetha. She is a barbarian outlander, half elf, and her alignment is neutral. She comes from, I guess I'll just sort of read it. She's got says I was a chieftain daughter who fled after feeling shamed by my family, trying to marry me off to a man I beat in hand-to-hand duel combat. I seek to return one day and rule my clan with honor. Unfortunately, since I've left, my family has been killed, so I sort of have a great destiny ahead of me. I was brought up in a northern tribe of hunter-gatherers. I rolled for all this, so it's kind of funny. I'm a forester marauder, so I'm sort of like a Viking. She's like a tall, really tough, strong, but beautiful woman. She's half elf still, but anyways, I have no patience for niceties. I was also raised and tutored by a dwarf named Bruce. One of the trinkets I carry from him is a cool staff that has a bunch of dwarven runes, and I kind of carry his teachings with me. So that's a little bit about my character. I have also my personality traits. I once ran 25 miles without stopping to warn my clan of danger. I'd do it again if I had to. The natural world is more important to me than constructs of civilization. I am the last of my tribe, apparently. To ensure their legend is known, and I'm slow to trust others. So I'm sort of an outside person, but here I am. That's a little more about me.
If you want to jump in, Vex.
All right, then. I'm Vex. Not quite, known as well as the staff writers, but, well, actually, technically, anyways, not here nor there. Sorry, a little nervous. It's been a while since we did this, so I'm playing Defixis, also known as Daff or Daphne, depending on the person you talk to. She is a short little gnome who was orphaned at a young age with her brother and sister, who, as kids, they would, do what they had to get by, but in order to cheer her brother and sister up, she used to tell stories, and she kind of had a touch with the magic and skill with it, and so she always used it to kind of, make her stories come to life. And so as she got older, she basically kind of came to her own as a wizard and storyteller through her illusions, and basically spends most of her time adventuring as a way to help keep her brother and sister, home, healthy, alive, and taken care of.
Cool.
Excellent. Last but not least, Megan.
All right. I am Megan Miller. I will be playing Kinna Hollythorn. She is a College of Valor bard and a halfling. My personality traits are, my ideals are experience. I'm always going to go with the choice that's going to give me the better story to tell later. And I have a pretty terrible temper. I don't like being called short, and if you mention that, she's probably going to be a little bit salty about it. She also has a riding mastiff that she calls Monty.
Monkey?
She loves him very much. Monty.
Monty, awesome. Right on.
So awesome. So we had a failed attempt at this game before, like I said, and we actually had one, gotten into a session 0 and a first session, and that first session, the recording was horrible. So what basically happened was Defixis and Agatha were sent by the company of the Nag which they actually we're going to go into a little bit later. But the within the company of the Nag, there is a sisterhood, the Scarlet Sisterhood, which you both belong to, and we're going to delve deeper into that later as the game progresses. But you were sent out, and you're actually looking for an alchemist that was going by the street name of the monarch of Musk. Basically, he was a drug dealer, and during your first adventure in tracking him down, you had gained your biggest clue, and that when you came to a small, nothing, one road town, had one tavern in it, where the ale was actually poisoned, and the poison was turning people and transforming them into troglodytes. You were able to actually subdue most of them, and I don't remember. I think you guys found a cure, or working on a cure, but you were able to imprison them without actually killing anybody or harming them. And you basically saved the villagers in the town. The town was on your way to Gryphongaffe, and that is where you believe your quarry was headed. As you were getting ready to pull out of the town, a caravan came through with halflings. There was, I believe, three carts with various halfling families, and they were heading in the same direction you guys were. They were actually on their way to Gryphongaffe because they learned of Lyndon Helmsworthy, the mayor of Gryphongaffe, is actually a halfling of this large town that's quickly growing and becoming of great strategic importance in the region. Also, the news that you would have heard was this town has actually been able to succeed from the neighboring kingdom of Drellic, which is where you guys are kind of from, which is a bit of a feat in and of itself. So where we're going to pick up from is basically that morning when you guys are beginning to set out on the road from this no-name town, and you guys are heading to Gryphongaffe. You had met with the Ambiway, and that was the halfling clan.
Ambiway?
Ambiway, yep.
Umbiway, that like Umbiway. Oh, Umbiway. Okay, Umbiway.
Yes. And the patriarch was Tobo, and the matriarch was Mara. And they welcomed you guys into the fold, especially after they heard the tale of basically how you saved the villagers and rescued them from themselves after this dastardly villain had come through and poisoned all of the ale. Now, Kenna?
Yes.
Okay. I've got notes like strewn all about. So Kenna, you are actually part of this caravan. That's why I said when you decide to be a halfling, that's perfect. So you can decide for what reason it is you're traveling with them, if you're a family member, or if they just happen to be going where you want to go. And you don't even have to...
I think I would like to be family to this clan.
Okay. Perfect. So as of right now, there is probably about a dozen halfling children following around the wagons, and there is 9 adults, halflings, not including Kenna. And now we have bless you, a half elf and a gnome along for the ride as well. So are you guys doing anything particular when the caravan sets out?
Well, I think I'm just going to sort of find myself in the back of one of those caravans. I'm incredibly uncomfortable with all these halflings around. I have never really associated with halflings. I'm like 3 times their size. I'm probably going to sit back and have a vial of some kind of a drink, a liqueur of some kind. We are already leaving that town, though, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to just sort of sit there and kind of put my hood up and be uncomfortable.
Now, if there was anything you wanted to do before leaving the town, you would have been able to do that.
Cool. All right.
So as you're traveling with the halflings, many of them keep regaling you with these various tales of Lyndon Helmsworthy. Some of them are kind of mundane, and others are more ridiculous. And it seems to be more ridiculous with each telling. Like, he's a halfling and he's 5 foot tall. He's one of the greatest halfling heroes ever. They said, he's a master tailor, and he spins pure platinum and gold into the garments that he weaves. And they kind of, it gets to a point where it almost seems like the different halflings are trying to compete with each other with the stories.
So you've got like their folk hero is a sort of a old folk hero. What is the old tale of the guy that spins things into gold?
Yeah, Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin. They have a Rumpelstiltskin for a hero.
Yes.
I am going to wait until things calm down a little bit to approach this barbarian.
Okay, so I would say like halfway through the day after the mid-meal break, the excitement of having the strangers in the caravan does seem to die down. You guys are probably constantly pestered and peppered with questions from the young halfling children. If you think halflings are small, well, you should see their children. It might be strange for the barbarian, for the half elf, but for the gnome, it's familiar territory, I would say.
I like these children, and I have an ocarina. I think I'm going to try to entertain them a little bit with my ocarina and maybe sit them on my lap and sort of pet them because I think they're rather cute.
Interesting. So you have no trouble, having a captive audience. Like if you're playing, on the wagon playing as it goes, the kids are following behind you, singing, halfling songs. And telling tales and making up their own.
I'll join in on the violin.
Nice. So I'm just sort of like, hey, she's got music. She's a bard. I like that. I like music. You see, I'm from clans, so we like the music. I'm really open to you. I now relax, and I'm sort of like, okay, I can chill out. I don't need to be so elusive.
So as the sun begins to set, the wagons all pull up, and they start breaking down the horses, and they kind of put the wagons in kind of a circular formation, and they start a cooking fire, and everyone begins doing their chores, as like they've done 100 times before, of setting camp.
Mm-hmm.
And Mara comes up to the strangers. And will you be taking part in our nightly watches?
Oh,
sure.
Honored, my lady. Yes.
Fortunately, there's enough of us that we don't have to. We don't have to take long watches, but it would be greatly appreciated any assistance that you brave warriors could lend us.
And I'm a half elf, so I can, go without sleep for quite a while. Not a problem. I would love to protect your children and your clan. You've been nothing but good to me.
So with that, they offer you, a meager meal of stew. They've captured some game along the way, and they've brought supplies with them. And once again, the children gather around, and in sing-song voices, they're asking for more music. But they've greatly enjoyed the entertainment throughout the day.
During dinner and whatever, I'm basically gonna use some of my cantrips like minor illusion and whatnot, just to entertain the kids and tell stories using my illusions and whatnot. Since now we're at a bit more of a sitting situation as opposed to moving.
At this point, you had a captive audience, and every time you try to stop, they insist on more. You've found a few friends for life.
Nice.
I'm not above entertaining children. As I said, with the backstory, my character's used to it with her brother and sister, so it kind of reminds her of home, makes her a little bit homesick. But
there's also a couple dogs running around the camp, aside from Monty, but these are much smaller dogs. They're probably like Jack Terrier Russells, and more pets than anything else. Do you guys make any specific preparations before you guys bed down, or anything specifically you want to do?
I'd like to offer Mara my services in catching game and things like that. That's my specialty, actually. So if they ever need help getting meat and trapping or hunting, I can help them with that.
Oh, wonderful! We appreciate that. Fresh meat is so hard to come by.
I've got some skills.
It's a little after a little after the meal, and people are kind of settling down and kind of relaxing. Some ale comes out and gets passed around, and of course you're offered some. When the only elderly halfling approaches the fire, Lala Midge is small even for a halfling. She's hunched over with years. She has a walking stick that she's leaning on heavily. She's where her shawl doesn't cover her head, you can see the wisps of gray hair poking out. And as soon as she approaches the fire, all the kids begin to settle down, and even the adults quiet down. It seems very routine, and in a very frail voice, she begins to speak, and she begins to tell tales of their family and the halflings that have come before them. And as she speaks more and more, her cadence and her voice becomes stronger and more clear, and she stares into the fire, and she goes on for a while. To Kenna, these stories, these are what you've grown up with. It's nothing new, and this is a nightly ritual that they do, and they just pass along the heritage of their family and such. And as she winds down, it seems to be a signal to the rest of the camp, where everyone begins to kind of settle down and find their bedrolls. And what would you ladies like to do now?
Who's
We go
taking
outside and
first
guard the camp. Go ahead, Vex.
Sorry, I was just asking who was going to take first watch.
That's what I was gonna say. I'll just go ahead and take first watch, and just I'm gonna volunteer that.
All right, so we can, each of the adults, aside from the Lala Midge, all take watches as well. So you'll have someone to keep you company. And pretty much, there's enough people where you only end up taking a couple hours each throughout the night.
Lala Midge is sort of the wise woman, the old matriarch of this clan, correct?
She is.
Can I ask for her blessings? Or does she offer anything like that?
She will absolutely bless you, but she kind of giggles a little when you ask for a blessing. But certainly, my child, more than happy to bless your watch.
These are strange lands. I'm uncomfortable.
Just for added goofy effect, when she's getting blessed by the elder, I'm going to use minor illusion cantrip to make sparkles appear.
Nice.
I'm like,
Just
yes, extra charisma.
Wait, when you do that, you notice a little bit of a mischievous twinkle in Lala Midge's eyes, and she seems to really start to get into the blessing.
All
right,
right, lady.
She makes these grandiose gestures with her hand and her cane, and then she hobbles off to bed, wishing you all a good evening.
I can feel it. Nice.
I would like to sit with this barbarian stranger as she's taking her watch. I've been looking for an opportunity to speak to her.
Okay.
So I'm going to sit down next to her, and I'm going to ask to see her palm.
My palm?
Yes.
I'm like, okay, yeah, sure.
I very clearly see a new companion in your future. And then I kind of move to shake her hand and introduce myself. I'm Kenna Hollythorn. I'm wondering, you seem to be travelers. You seem to be going somewhere. You seem to be going somewhere more interesting than a stationary town. Are you looking for any extra help on the road?
Always. Allies are always something that I'm looking for. Are you some kind of a, like, why are you reading my palm?
Well, fortune teller by trade, minstrel by hobby. I do a little of this and that and pretty much everything else. I can heal your wounds. I can mend your clothes.
Very
A few
useful.
things here and there.
I would love to have your services as a friend and an ally. Thank you.
Awesome. That went over much better than I expected.
You've sort of been sitting with me, so I'm kind of like, I have some perception. I've been watching you watch me, sort of, and sort of gauging you, like, all right, she's good. In the background. So is it nighttime now and everyone's settling down and we're starting the watch? How's the weather? Is it pretty nice? What time of year is it?
It's temperate, so it's not bad. It's a little bit cool, but especially away from the fire, but it's not unbearable.
Right. Okay.
So so it probably like fall weather.
Okay. Cool.
So the night passes uneventfully. Every once in a while you hear something off in the distance. Nocturnal predators, which generally stay away from a large band like this, and the horses get spooked a couple times through the night and have to be calmed down. But for the most part, everything is quiet throughout the night. In the morning, the camp begins to stir. The halflings begin getting up and set about their chores and begin breaking the fast, which you guys are all offered. Some biscuits and some tack. It's not quite as good as the meal before the night before, but in a week or so you should be at your destination and finally at a nice inn where you can get a good cooked meal.
Okay. Now, I had the inclination to sort of ask this Lala Midge, or maybe even the patriarch or matriarch, about some of the strange things that were happening in the town that we were in before, and ask them if they've heard anything about that, or if they know of anything of what's been going on around the region.
Okay, so the strangeness of the previous town, village. It's not even a town. It's actually barely a village. That was the first we heard of. It was quite the tales we heard were quite terrifying, and that's why we're so eager to have you and your companion travel with us.
Okay, I'd be like, that's kind of why I asked you for my blessing last night. I was a little on edge, and I'm sorry if that was a little strange to you, but I've just seen some shit,
Yeah, it's quite all right, my child. These can be trying times in a strange world. It's one of the reasons why we're going to Gryphongaffe. Under the leadership of Mayor Helmswell, we expect great opportunities for our people. He should really understand the plight of the halflings.
Why are you going here? Why are you going to, what is it, Gryphongaffe?
Griffin. Well, we believe with the town, from what we've heard, it's become a nexus of travelers from all over the place, and it's really grown under the leadership of the new mayor. And we've never seen a human settlement, run by a halfling before. We believe it bodes well for our people, and it is a good omen.
Cool. All right, so I thank her for my time, and I sort of pull up my hood and do my elusive thing and walk away. Thank you, my lady.
So with that, the camp breaks down, and some of the younger folks help Lala Midge get up into one of the wagons, and some of the children are still kind of rubbing sleep out of their eyes, so they're not running around as wild as they were the day before. But as the day progresses, it doesn't take long for that to change. So basically, you guys are kind of lulled into the boredom of the road. I imagine you could just kind of like patrol around around the caravan with Monty?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's probably after your mid-meal break, you guys are traveling probably not even an hour before a deadfall lands right in the center of the trail.
Dead what?
Deadfall, a tree.
Ah, okay.
And you quickly realize what happened, that it's just not a coincidence the tree fell, because a hulking figure steps into the roadway on the other side of the tree, easily 9-10 feet tall, sloping forehead, greasy scraggly hair. It's wearing layers of hide, and even at a distance you can see its beady, squinty eyes, it's got an underbite where jagged fangs are jutting out of its jaw like tusks.
Okay.
Smells like trouble.
You've probably heard tales of ogres, and even if you haven't seen one, you imagine this is what one would look like. And with that, in a booming, bellowing voice, he calls for your caravan to halt and to pay toll and homage to Troll.
Hell no! I'm gonna
I draw
raise
my
on
sword.
his ass.
To
Yeah.
Troll? To
Yes.
Troll.
Well, he beats his chest when he says it with his fist, the one that's not holding a massive club. So you're assuming that he means himself.
Ah.
And it doesn't require a perception check to hear something else thrashing behind the caravan as another one of these creatures steps out of the wooded area, but from behind a couple of trees.
You get one chance to back down, you maggot-eating tosser.
So from behind you, you hear, or from the back of the caravan, you hear, I do not eat maggots. Well, maybe if it's in mutton.
I'm going to try to...
Gross definitely does not eat maggots.
So
I'm
there's
gonna
only
see-
2 of these trolls.
No, they're ogres, just the ones named Troll.
Ogre. Oh, okay. So they're ogres.
Yes. One is called himself Gross and the other one Troll.
I'd like to try to gather up, ask the couple of halfling kids to find, miscellaneous junk that, just needs to be thrown away, and a bag to put it in. So it feels kind of heavy. And I'm going to call out to Troll once I've done so.
Okay, so you quickly whisper to the children instructions, and then you call out the Troll.
Yeah.
What do you say to him?
Give us just a minute, and we'll have your toll to get through here.
There's 2 of them, correct?
There is.
And
I'm
these are
looking at her like she's lost her mind.
Yeah, I'm going to actually rage on the one behind me, and I'm going to attack him full force. I will not allow my halfling friends to subserve to these disgusting creatures. I'm actually really outraged at this point because they have been nothing but good to me, and I'm like, who is this tyrant? And I'm going to attack them.
Okay, so the one behind the caravan he seems to be completely hairless, where the other one had lots of long, greasy looking hair. So roll initiative.
Okay.
Just her or everybody?
Yeah, everybody can roll initiative.
Where did my roll go? I lost my roll.
You can see my dice this time, correct, Dave?
There it is.
Let's see. I see Megan's die. I thought I saw yours, and then I think it disappeared. As long as you can see it, that's fine.
Okay.
That
I
would be
rolled a
8 total.
You guys can just put it in the chat.
There we go. There we go. Gosh. Okay.
Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out how to manipulate this because this doesn't seem to be as nice as it was before.
Oh, can you see? Is the number showing up for you?
showing up for me.
As long as it shows up for you, that's fine. You can just put it in the chat. So, okay, 8, 13, 17. So you
Well, I guess if
guys,
it's not working, I'll just use my own dice then, huh? I have lucky dice. Don't judge me, monkey.
you guys are going to go first.
All right, so I'm first, correct? Because I rolled a 17. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, so I'm going to attack this fool. And I roll a 15. Let's see, it's plus my proficiency and my strength. So AC 15.
Yep, that will hit easily.
19, yeah, so that's almost a crit. And then I have another attack, but that's not going to matter, right? Because I kicked his butt.
So
Do I attack twice on him, or is that just a crit?
no,
Pretty much,
you get 2 attacks.
Okay. So I'm going to roll for damage, which is my 12.
What are you fighting with?
I am using a glaive.
Okay.
And that is an 11 plus my strength. So that's 12. So that's my first hit.
Okay.
And then I roll a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on my second, as well as a 7, 8 on my second. So
8 damage on the second one? Or the hit?
No, 11 on my my attack.
Okay, that hits.
Yeah. Yeah, and then on my damage, I rolled an 8.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you come flying down the road at this hairless ogre, and it brings up its club to try and fend off your attacks, but he's way too slow. Your glaive dives and juts in before he can parry the blows away, and he begins to blossom red in several spots.
Sucker! I'm like so mad. I'm just like screaming, profanities at this point.
So Vex, you're up.
I will get to where I can see the big one that she hasn't hit, Troll, and take a shot at with my Ray of Frost. If that's okay.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
No. Okay. Let's see. Roll. Okay. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong.
Rain of Frost, so what does that do? Is that just like frost fire bolts or what?
It's a ray of freezy coldness. Ray of Frost.
Nice.
Like I got a 13 now that I figured out how to do the rolls and stuff. Oh,
What was that?
no idea. Was it from me? I don't think so, but
I don't know where that came from.
I think your fan made that sound. That was a cool sound. Too bad that didn't happen during the battles with my glaive.
So does 13 hit?
Yes, the 13 absolutely hits.
Okay.
Yes.
It doesn't even seem to know what's going on when the ray shoots out from your hand, blasting him.
I got a 5 and a 7, so 12 damage total.
Okay.
And he moves 10 feet slower.
Okay.
And I think my fan just died on me. That's what's going on. Sorry about that. That's my Ray of Frost spell sound, I swear.
Yes, it was perfect. I love it.
And you're up, Megan.
All right. Am I close enough to get up and make an attack?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you were at the center of the caravan, so that puts you about 30 feet from the front or the back. And Monty is probably a movement of 40, so you can
All right.
you could use his movement, and you could actually move up to 80 feet if you needed to. So you should be
Then
good.
I will charge up on my riding mastiff and bolt. I'll make an acrobatics check if I have to off of him at one of the ogres with my short sword and my shield up.
That's awesome.
Do I need to acrobatics check for that?
No, you don't actually need to, but if you want to add style points, you can absolutely do that.
All right, I have 2 attacks with my short sword, so that's a nat 20.
That will hit.
And that's a 2. That's not as good. That's 8 total. That's probably not going to hit.
Okay, so yeah, the 2 definitely does not hit, but you're able with that nat 20, you're able to vault off the back of Monty, and actually, I'm going to say you actually run up its club to slash him across the face, and when you do that, he kind of jerks, and that's what causes your second hit to miss. As you cascade through the air, landing gracefully on your feet in front of the fell creature. You got so close to it though, you could actually smell its disgusting breath. It smells like rotten meat. Roll your damage.
That's 2.
Well, double damage, so you get to roll another d6.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I have to click the button again.
Like an angry little halfling.
Just getting used to this. That's 6 total. How do I get rid of the dice on my?
There's a clear button.
Ah, okay. So yes, that is 6 though.
6 plus your either dex or strength.
Oh right, it is a finesse weapon, so that's plus 3, 9.
Okay. Oh, and which one did you attack?
Troll.
Okay.
And then it says I can Bardic Inspiration as a bonus action, so I'm gonna start when I land, clicking my sword against my shield and keeping a beat. So, and because I am College of Valor Bard, the barbarian should be able to use that D8 for AC or damage.
Yep. Okay. So whenever you want to use it, Agatha has inspiration from the bard.
Wonderful. So it's 1d8.
Yes.
Nice. Thank you.
So Troll roars in anguish as you land forward and land in front of him and lumbers forward. Real quick, do you want Monty to attack or hang back?
Hang back.
Okay.
So wait, there's who's in front, who's in back? What's their names again?
So Troll is in front of the caravan, and
okay.
And Gross is in the back, and that's the one you were squaring. Gross is the one you were squaring off with.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
So Troll roars in anger, like I said, and slams his club down at the halfling, hitting AC 22. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and that's probably going to hit you, correct? Kenna?
Oh, yes, that definitely hits.
Yeah. So the club slams down right next to you so hard, the impact from the ground and the dirt flying up, and you just basically trying to keep your feet. Does 13 points of damage.
All right.
And then Gross is none too pleased with Agatha. Stupid elf lady, me crush you, me eat you like jelly.
I might show you my teeth. I'm like, try it, buddy.
And he hits AC 12. And
he has an AC of 12?
No, he hits AC 12.
Oh, okay.
What
I've
is?
got 15.
Yeah. So you easily dive out of the way or deflect the blow with your glaive without a whole lot of trouble. And now we're back up to the top of the order. The halflings are trying to keep the horses from bolting, and they're gathering up the children, and they seem to be letting you guys take care of the ogres at this point, or at least right now they haven't done anything other than gather the children and steady the horses. So you're up, Agatha.
I'm like, what a weak tribe. They don't even have sticks to throw. All right, so this guy, how much? I'm just gonna hit him again. Then I'm just trying to kill his ass. I just want him to see him. I just want to see him dead because he's disgusting to me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just attack him again, and let's see if whatever I did here. I'm trying to get my dice to show up. Let's see if this works. Can you see anything on my page?
No.
Right. Well, I'm gonna roll again. I roll a natural 17.
That will
for my first attack.
That will absolutely hit.
Okay. And I get to roll again with my, well, let's see, I gotta do my damage. That would be a 4 or 5, so plus my strength is 5. And then I'm gonna roll for damage or for my attack again, which is a 12. 13, 14, 15, 16. So I roll a 16.
Okay, that hits as well. How much damage did you do the first time there?
How much damage? I think it was 8. It was like 8 damage.
Are you counting your rage damage too? Because you said you were raging.
Am I going to use another rage?
No.
Because I raged the first time. I have 3 rages.
No, you're still raging. It lasts.
I'm still raging. Oh, that's right. So yeah, okay. Plus I get 2 for rage damage, so that would be even more.
Okay.
So I pretty much kick his arse.
Right. He is still up though.
Oh, disgusting, vile thing! Die!
And what was the damage on your second attack there?
Gosh, I think it was 15.
Well, I don't think you rolled damage. I think you just rolled the attack.
Oh, it was a here. Let me just do this. I don't remember what it was. So it was a 5. I rolled a 5, so a 6 damage.
Plus your rage. Okay.
Plus my rage. So 7, 8.
Okay.
Or 7 damage, yeah. Okay. So do I attack again?
Nope, just the 2 attacks. So
okay.
So your glaive is darting in and out, drawing blood every time you lance forward with it, and you're basically destroying this ogre with 1,000 cuts, just jumping all around him. So that brings us to Vex.
I am going to use my action to cast Phantasmal Force on Troll to make it seem like his shadow has come to life and is now attacking him.
Yes, I was hoping you would do that. That's awesome.
So that is going to be a wisdom saving throw, is my guess?
Actually, it's an intelligence.
Okay. So I will roll that.
Against 15, so.
He fails his saving throw by 1, and I rolled a 17. So, what does that do to him? Because he is now fighting with his shadow.
Basically, he sees, and it basically feels real to him. And each turn, each of my rounds, he takes 1d6 damage from it hitting him, basically. 1d6 psychic damage.
Okay, so...
any other stuff is purely on to you, whether he decides to react to it or not, because it does seem and feel real to him. So.
Okay, so roll your damage.
Okay. I don't want a bonus, I just want my d6. Thank you. Oh, oop. Wrong button. Roll. 6.
All right. Okay. Like I said, with that, he begins roaring, and he looks like he might even be doing more damage to himself as he's trying to punch his shadow, but he just kind of keeps beating on himself. And that brings us up to you, Megan.
Well, actually, technically, nobody else sees this but me, so It looks like he's shadow boxing.
He's got a flea on
I'm
his
not
back.
entirely sure why this troll is now hitting himself, but I'm not going to question my good fortune. I'm just going to whack him again.
I'm going to allow you to attack him with advantage because he's distracted.
Nice.
So that's
Kick his ass,
13 for attack number 1, and oh yeah, I have to click the button again. 17 for attack number 2. That's plus 6, so 19 and 23.
Yeah, they both hit. You're easily able to dart in and out between his legs as he's basically looks like fighting with himself or attacking something that isn't there. So roll up your damage.
That is 9 for the first hit and 5 for the second.
All right. So with that, as they're getting ready to act, the halflings finally begin to spring into action after they've kind of settled the children and the horses down, and they start pelting them with like stones and rocks. It doesn't really seem very effective, but at the same time, both of the ogres are bleeding from various places. The one's got frostbite on its one pectoral muscle, and is in the meantime fighting some unseen opponent. They kind of yell and both try to dart back into the woods from whence they came. So Samantha and Megan, you can each take an attack of opportunity if you wish to try and stop them.
I'm going to throw a javelin at the guy's head. Or just chase him down, I guess that'd be easier. I'm just going to use my glaive.
Since it's an attack of opportunity, you'd have to use whatever's in hand.
Okay, so I'll just use my glaive to chase him down. I want to end him as fast as I can.
Okay, make an attack roll.
I'm like, coward! I'm like super pissed off at this point. I roll a 14.
Yep, that'll hit.
Yes! Sucker.
So, roll your damage. How much damage do you do?
Okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then, my damage. Let's see. That'd be 7, 8. 8 damage.
Okay. Okay, Megan, Ken is up.
Slashing at his heel. 18.
That will absolutely hit.
Woohoo!
And 9 damage.
Nice. All right, so they begin trucking off into the forest as fast as they can. They're taking the dash action, so they are approximately 80 feet away from you guys, and running through the forest.
All right. Let those cowards run. If they ever face us again, we'll kill them.
And
they can't.
Go ahead.
They can't say they weren't warned.
Right?
So,
never mess with our halflings again.
With that, you hear a commotion at the center wagon.
Okay.
Instant concern.
Yeah, running up and seeing if everyone's okay and going right to the commotion.
So, at the center wagon, there's one of the halflings is unconscious and bleeding from his head. And, there's a small group that they're starting to gather around. And you can see panic-stricken looks on the faces of several of the halflings.
Well, okay, guys, move. Hold on, let me through here. I'm gonna cure wounds that.
Okay, so you tend to that, and one of the things that what are your passive perception checks?
14.
I do not know, actually.
It's are you trained in perception?
Yes.
Let me see. I've got my wisdom. Let's see. Perception. Yeah, I've got 4 plus 1. Maybe it's 5. I think it's 5.
Okay, so it'd be a 15. So
Oh, okay.
the two of you, one of the things you notice kind of right away is there doesn't seem to be enough kids running around.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, hell no.
So
Somebody took the kids, didn't they?
Tobo comes up and is like counting heads, and is like Hannah, Lily, and Thomas are missing.
What
and
the hell?
the halfling you just cured is sitting up, rubbing the back of his head where it looks like he was smacked with something hard. And he's like, "Oh no! What?" As I was falling, as I fell, I saw spindly green, fleshy legs, and then darkness. They were small legs, like one of us, but really spindly and with knobby knees and green colored.
God damn it! I'm
Can I
See
make?
which way they went.
Can I put together what he's talking about?
It's the
By
musk.
what he described, or well, no. If they're our size, that means that it can't be the musk.
They get transformed into something like, what is it? The
Lizard
the
thing.
lizard creature.
Yeah,
But they're your size, not our
Yeah.
sized.
Vex is absolutely correct.
Okay.
Which I know my brain knows what it is based on the description, but I'm guessworking here. But would my character know roughly what would be,
Make a
happen?
DC 10 intelligence check. If you
Yeah.
have history or nature, you can use those.
I think I have at least
The
one of
intelligence
those.
8. So
No,
she's kind of.
I have investigation, but I don't have. But I already have a +4 before I even roll with
Okay.
anything else. So, I got a 9.
9 total.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's on a 9 there's any number of creatures that it could be gremlins or goblins or kobolds or miniature trolls. But so there's definitely possibly maybe some kind of fey creatures. Being a bard, you can absolutely make an attempt as well.
All right. I don't have any knowledges, but I will just roll straight ins.
You also get half your proficiency bonus for Jack of all trades.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so that's 9 plus 1 for proficiency is 10. I don't have an intelligence bonus.
That's fine. So, so Defixus begins rambling off some things, and you're like, I think it sounds like a goblin. I don't think kobolds are green, and I don't, I've never seen or heard of a gremlins around here, or if they really exist or not. But you're thinking maybe a goblin. Does anybody have any have survival?
Not on
Sure, I do. I think that's something that I have.
It sounds like something a barbarian might have.
Yeah, I have got like all sorts of skills like that.
Okay, so if you want to examine the area, or if anyone has investigate, you can use investigate to examine the area as well.
Okay. So I'm gonna start looking around, seeing if I can find anything else. So, oh my gosh, that's so weird.
Would investigation help at all?
Yes, that's also one of the skills you can use.
Okay, because I actually have that skill. So, Remind me what the proficiency bonus is again? Half level?
No,
Yeah.
it's actually tiers, so because it only goes up to +6. I believe you guys are at a +3 right now.
Okay.
For what?
Proficiency bonus.
Oh. I do have survival, by the way.
Okay, so you can drop a survival check.
Is that a D20?
It is a D20.
Okay.
Just as an FYI, I got a 19 on my investigation.
I have a 13. That's just 13.
Okay, so between those two rolls, several things happen. One is, the Fixes thinks to ask the other children about what happened, because why these three were taken and the rest of them weren't, and immediately you come away with they actually, in the confusion, had snuck out to try and see what was going on. And
That sounds like promise.
exactly. Oh, you can all take inspiration as well.
Wonderful.
And
Must be a toque, both of them.
and not only that, you're able to deduce from the head wound that he was actually, clubbed over the head with a club. It wasn't something sharp or pointy. And you guys find several tracks in the dirt, and they're booted. The feet are booted but small, about the size of a halfling, which kind of it lends credence to the idea that maybe it was goblins. And you have a general idea of what direction that they've gone off to. And also, so you find like the booted tracks, but then there's also like this scrape mark, as if somebody's dragging something heavy.
Okay, what direction are they headed?
They actually headed the opposite direction that the ogres came from, into the forest.
So would that be like what, east? They were headed west into the forest?
The ogres darted to the west, and so it looks like that whoever took the children went to the did I say east? To the opposite side of whatever
So
I just said.
going east. It looks like they took advantage of us while we were fighting these monsters, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Okay.
are you pointing out to me what direction they went?
They went east.
Okay, I whistle for Monty. I'm gone. I'm not staying if the kids are at risk.
I am freaking out. You're just gonna start running into the forest?
Yeah,
Okay.
Kenna wouldn't think about this. She wouldn't even consider it.
I'll try to follow as best as I can behind her. I don't have a mount, so I don't know how well I can stay behind her.
Okay, so quickly, Kenna begins to vanish from sight. You can hear Monty in the distance. After you go for a little while, though, Kenna, you see the forest, but you do not see any sign of the goblins.
Walking in circles, kind of freaking out a little bit. I'm gonna go back and find the barbarian.
I'm still there waiting. I'm like, hell no, dude. Someone took advantage of us while we were attacked. I'm gonna save these halflings because they do not know how to fight.
I promise I will learn your names eventually.
Agnetha.
So when you guys are investigating the area and begin following after Kenna, one of the things, you guys are moving a little bit slower. So one of the things you notice is a piece of cloth stuck to some branches.
Okay.
And it's when you examine it, it's a small square patch that looks like it was been ripped away. It's some kind of like canvas, and it's rough, and it feels like something you would make a sack out of. So, what is everybody doing?
Daft, do you have anything that you can do to track this? Does Monty know how to track things? Can he sniff them down? Like, is that a thing that he can do?
I'm going to say that he possibly could. He would need something of theirs, or
like a sack piece.
yeah, like that, or maybe or something that belonged to the children. Could possibly use it.
It would probably be safer to go back and get something that belonged to the children, to be perfectly fair. Like, I don't know where that set came from. It could have come off of anything. Freaking out.
Okay, so so Monty and Kenna come back to Daffix. Are you back with us, Vex?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just there we go. All right.
Good, solid. And then so the pair of them come back to you guys, and you guys are kind of holding this piece of cloth and looking around. Okay, and we have Agatha again.
So the dice roller doesn't add the counter to the roll, does it?
No.
Okay, so I actually haven't been adding modifiers to my rolls. Fantastic.
I think when you hit the plus, the counter's something different, I think.
Okay.
That just shows. I think I'm not exactly sure what it's for, but like you see how I have a number 1.
Yeah.
That's all it does is puts that number up there as a placeholder.
Oh, so kind of like an initiative.
Okay, I've got one.
Yeah, like initiative tractor. I've seen people use it for hit points. Although after you get to a certain point, it's no good because it only goes up to like 99 or something. All right, so the three of you are standing there. Agatha, you had found the piece of torn canvas, which you believe is probably from a sack or something. And Kenna has just asked she wants something to present to Monty to see if he can find this scent.
I found something. I found a piece of cloth, you say?
Yeah. It was hanging from one of the low hanging branches.
I chose to stay behind. I did not go with these fools into the woods.
Oh, okay. Well, it was just on the off the side of the road. So.
Oh, okay. I see. Thank you. I'm caught up now.
All right. So Daffix and Kenna and Monty head back to the to where you are, and you guys can interact.
We need a thing. We need a thing so the dog can smell it, so we can find the kids. The kids are missing. Oh my god. Oh my gods.
Oh my god. Okay. So the halflings are all, I'm sure, in some sort of a panic because they have 3 children missing.
Yeah.
And all that we have to work off of is that we were attacked by creature beasts and okay, so can you remind me now, one of the children was transformed into a goblin, or you saw a goblin?
So
in the center of the trouble.
So the one halfling that was knocked on the back of his head, the only thing he said he saw before losing consciousness was a pair of green knobby knees and small feet.
Yeah, so we think it's goblins that took off with the kids.
I hope so. If they got turned into goblins, I'm gonna kill somebody.
Hopefully this musk isn't goblin transforming.
No, don't worry. My understanding is that the kids have to be with the Goblin King for at least a full day before they get changed.
That's true.
Wait, so I'm a stupid character. She's like, wait, what's going on here? You mean to tell me that this musk is probably something that can transform into, what is it, the kobold or...
If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Probably goblins saw an opportunity and just kidnapped the kids. We really need to go find the kids. We cannot talk about this right now. Can I see your paper fabric thing?
Yes, here they're out. There you go.
I let my dog sniff it.
Okay, so I guess make a perception check for him, and you can assist him and give him advantage, I guess.
Okay. That's 13. I do not have the Mastiff information, but I do have a monster manual, so I can find that in just a second.
Okay, so that's going to be probably a 14 or a 15, I would guess. So that's enough to get you started. He begins snuffling around through the brush and heading off the road. And it's not long before you find a ribbon on the ground. It looks like it's small, but again, halfling children are small, so it's possible that it's one of the ribbon from one of the girl's hair.
Oh.
These goblins are going to become eunuchs very quickly.
Long.
My pleasure. Let me have it.
Wow, we went right to castration.
Right to castration. That's the first step, always.
Okay,
You
I have
steal the
Mastiff
children,
open now.
you get the dead end. Or
My
you
word.
end up with dead ends. But anyways.
So when you guys find the ribbon, that's when the trail actually turns back and heads towards the south. But Monty seems solidly locked on to the scent and is faithfully following it.
So the dog is going to start heading south now instead of east?
Yes.
Okay.
I trust my dog.
Dogs
So
make everything better.
after you guys travel for another like 15-20 minutes, Monty's still on the trail and is following it really well, but you've worked with him for quite a while, and he's been your companion, and you realize he seems a little uneasy about something.
Oh, I know. I'm pretty upset about this too, buddy. And I'm like patting him on the neck and trying to get him to calm down a little bit. So there's probably something nasty up ahead. Just heads up. My dog's a little not okay with this.
So, how are you guys following? Are you kind of like trying to be stealthy? Or are you just like rushing through as fast as he can send out the problem?
Sorry, I have my survival skills, so I'm kind of with the dog and running with him, and also, keeping an eye out for any other tracks or any other signs that I might see.
Kenna would be rushing, but if you guys want to try to talk some sense into her, she'll probably listen.
I'm trying to keep up because these are kids and you don't steal the kids.
Right.
Okay, so give me perception checks.
Okay. D20.
14. Because you can't go below your passive.
Okay.
I got 13.
20.
Thank the gods for Agnetha.
So neither the halfling or the gnome notice, but basically in the brush up ahead, there's it's like a hillock in the forest, and one of the things you pick out several things right away, Agatha. One, there's a screen or a blind that's been crudely constructed, and it's clearly covering something. Two, you can make out the form of two diminutive humanoids. They're about the size of the halflings, but here and there you can see long black straggly hair, long pointy ears, and yellow eyes that are reflecting off of the little bit of light there is in the forest, and green skin. And they seem to be grumbling and talking to each other, and that's when you hear a low growl as a large wolf creature is by them, and in that growl you actually hear words. What languages do you speak?
I can speak Elvish, Dwarvish, Common, and Gnomish.
Okay, you don't understand the language, but you clearly feel like there's more to the growls than animal noises. Your companions do not seem to have spotted what's going on.
Okay. I'm going to.
I'm going to talk to the dog and ask him if he's smelled these things before. Because as a forest gnome, I can speak to small animals.
You haven't noticed them yet, right? Though I'm the only one that's actually noticed these creatures.
No, my dog.
But Megan had been talking to him and trying to calm him down. So I figured I just.
Yeah, my mastiff, but he's not a small animal. He's a medium animal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and communicate with my comrades here and tell them what I'm seeing, and hey, keep it quiet. I see something up ahead. What's Monty? What's Monty doing? Is he just freaking out because he can smell them, or what? Because
Well, you probably deduced that actually why he's spooked is the wolf.
Okay, so he's a little bit freaking out.
Yes. So, but the question is, Agatha, what are you doing right now?
I'm gonna lay low and just kind of see what's going on, because so far I'm just hearing beast noises and I'm seeing stuff and the dog's freaking out, and I'm like, okay, we need to know how many people are around us. We need to not just probably dive into this without knowing what's going on. Maybe we should find some kind of cover and spy in some way. That would be my advice.
Well, I mean, if she's telling us to lay low and stop, then I'm going to at least make a poultry. Actually, I'm gonna roll a whether or not Ken is being stupid die. No, she's fine. She's not being stupid. She goes ahead and hides with Agnetha.
That's awesome. I need to get one of those emotion dices. Those are the funniest things ever. That's what your character needs, Mrs. Chaotic.
What now?
You need an emotion dice. Do I feel persnickety or brave right now?
So, do we know what exactly we're dealing with?
Not yet.
Okay, so we don't know what exactly is on the other side of whatever it is that you see that the rest of us cannot.
If Agatha, well, I believe what Samantha said was, Agatha, you were going to tell them what you saw,
which was like wolves and goblins, is what I think it is.
Well, if it's goblins, then I think we should attack them.
But we don't know how many there are.
If you find a way to tell me that it was trying to talk to you, I can cast tongues on you so you can understand it.
You're talking to me?
That was an out of character comment because Kenna doesn't know it was trying to talk to you.
Yeah, it's got this weird language. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, okay, I don't even know how many people.
Well, you don't feel like it was trying to talk to you. You feel like it was talking to that it was kind of growling and barking at the goblins.
Yeah, they're like orcs communicating. It's kind of like that. You're like, okay. So that's racist. Okay, not all orcs are bad. These are goblins.
Anybody know if goblins have a decent sense of smell?
Other than the one that your Mastiff Monty is smelling. He's freaking out, right?
Well, yeah, but that's a dog. I'm talking about the goblins.
Do they have a certain smell?
No, do they have a sense of smell?
Well, you can pretty much, even if they don't, you can count on the wolf that the wolf will.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know for sure it's some sort of dog creature.
Yes, it definitely appears to be wolf-like.
Bloodworkers.
You need to be casting. I'm gonna inquire upon my illusion wizard that we need to be playing a trick or something on these guys, because I don't know how many there are yet. We might need to get closer and actually see. Dave, can we get closer and actually have some kind of an overview? Or is this just like a forest, or are there hills that we can get up and look down on these guys? Do we have any advantage at all? Landscape.
It is pretty much a forest. There's definitely some rocky outcroppings here and there, and where you saw the screen or the blind that they're kind of hiding behind is like a hillock. So, but for the most part, most of the ground is one plane, pretty level.
Okay. Do we have any idea of how many?
So first off, if you guys are trying to hide, give me stealth checks.
Okay.
to see
Alright.
if they end up spotting you guys or not.
Got a +2, so roll.
So I rolled a 1.
Roll.
14 total.
That's what I did wrong. Roll. I got a 12.
A 1, huh?
Yeah. I'm like, guys, shh. Oh shit.
Didn't
I'm
we all
like,
get inspiration earlier? Can you use that to do something about that?
yeah. Is it? Yeah, that's a good question.
You can.
Okay. So I'm gonna duck and like roll, like prop. Hopefully they don't see me.
So okay, so you can re-roll the 1. Too bad you're not
Okay.
a halfling.
Right. I rolled a 6.
So 6 plus you.
So much better.
6 plus. Do you have stealth as a skill?
Let's see. I do not. No.
Okay. So with that, you all hear a howl as the wolf begins to howl.
Great.
So here's a quick question. Is this a case of they can see us, but we can't see them, or vice versa?
Well, you know where they are, and now you can hear the wolf howling. So, you have the general idea. And Agatha kind of pointed out, like now that she mentions it, you can see that there's a blind or a hunting blind or a screen that they've made, and that they're actually like standing behind.
Okay. I'm just trying to see what I can do to screw with them at the moment, but I don't think we're within 60 feet at the moment, so that kind of limits my ability to do anything. So I'm going to continue to hide in the grass while the barbarian gets outed.
Well, I'm actually going to say you guys are probably about 50 feet away from the blind, and that's when Agatha noticed it, and you guys then tried to hide. So,
Okay.
so at this point, I would say now we can roll initiative, and see. We'll act in the initiative orders.
Okay. I got 11. Excuse me?
Guess that means I'm first or whatever.
Let's see. They actually. So the goblins go at a 21, and the wolf goes at a 19.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Way to go, suckers. I knew we should have stayed. No, I'm just joking. The children on the line. I'm gonna get angry now. I'm really mad.
I'm already angry.
Throw you into the well, man.
We're already fuming, and now I'm just even more angry.
So with that, you hear the sound of steel sliding from leather
yeah.
as the goblins draw short swords and begin to advance from behind the blind, and they are moving in your direction. Like I said, they're about 50 feet away, and goblins are pretty fast for being small.
Okay. I only have a 40 speed movement, so we may need to play a trick or something before they reach us. Was it?
And then as they're looking around, they each one of them kind of goes to a tree and gets behind it, and you see them stick their short swords in the ground, and they begin to draw bows.
Great.
Fantastic.
And the wolf. The wolf begins loping towards you guys.
My advice is get
stepping between the wolf and Monty.
So, what languages do you speak, Vex? And then Megan?
My character would more. I didn't exactly write down what languages she would know.
Okay.
But she'd more than likely know stuff that would be commonly discussed in towns. Wouldn't know anything besides those, though.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't think any of us know any of these languages.
And Megan?
My int mod is 0. I speak common and halfling, and that is it.
Perfect. All right, so clearly the wolf in a gravelly, growly voice is speaking to your group, but you don't know what it's saying.
I have like animal
Tongues.
handling.
So now we go in initiative order, and I see. What initiative are you at, Sam?
14.
Okay, so 14, 11, and so right in order, really. You can go.
The only skill I have at this point is my animal handling, which I don't think is going to really work. I do have intimidation. I could try to scare them in some way. I mean, they're still 50 feet, you say, from us?
The goblins are 50 feet away, but now the wolf is now probably it is bearing down upon you. It is close.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm just going to have to go ahead and I might. Can I do two, like with my 2 attacks? Can I do one, like maybe throw a javelin, and then as it comes closer to me, take out my glaive and just hit it?
Well, it's already closed on you.
Oh, okay. So it's like really close. So I can take my glaive and just
Poke it.
smash him if I need to.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and attack the wolf that is now charging at me. And I roll a 3. Plus my proficiency and my strength. So that's a 7.
Yep.
And that's
not going to do it. It pounces to the side of your attack, and you can take your second one.
Okay. Can I dash out of the way at all, or do I have to attack? Like, can I? Okay. Maybe I should just attack him though, because that's not very. Okay. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
That will hit.
Sweet. Can I dash out of the way after that?
You could. Yes, you would be able to move out of the way without drawing an attack of opportunity because you're using a glaive.
Oh, I actually rolled a 20 because +2 is my. Oh, that's raging. Never mind. I'm not raging right now. I'm just attacking. Excuse me, Dave. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you will be able to move away if you choose to. You don't actually. You're using a glaive, which is a reach weapon, so you don't actually have to be adjacent to it to attack.
Oh, okay.
So roll your damage.
13. So 17. Oh, I'm sorry. My damage. That's the D6. Excuse me. No, that's my D12. Okay, let me get this out here. That is 8. I roll an 8. Plus my 1 strength, so that's an 8.
Okay.
Rolled a 7 plus 1.
Okay, so it snarls at you as you cut its forepaw.
Okay.
And you do have your movement. If you want to move away, you can. What do you want to do?
I'll attack again.
Well, that's your 2 attacks. So you're.
Oh, that was my second attack. I'm sorry.
So now you just have a bonus action and a move action.
I'm gonna with my bonus action. I can attack again. With my. Or do I have to actually move out of the way at that point?
You can move, but you can't use your bonus action to attack unless you have something special that gives you an ability.
I see. Okay, well, I'll just move out of the way for now then.
Okay, so next up is Vex.
Okay, do I actually have a visual line of sight to the goblins?
You do. They do have some cover from the trees, but you can see them.
Okay, then, and they're within 90 feet.
Yes.
I'm going to try to cast Sleep on them, which says basically I roll 5d8, which that's 11, 16, 20. So basically I affect 20 hit points. So subtract 20 hit points from the first goblin, and anything that's left over rolls into the other goblin, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so they both slump up against the trees.
Cool. And then I will choose to do, can I still move after casting a spell? Just to.
You can.
Okay. I'm going to back up and let somebody else get hit by the gnoll, because I am super squishy. So I'm going to try to duck behind, just move behind Sam's character. can't remember names right now. I apologize.
Yeah,
Agatha.
Agnetha. That's okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna hop behind her. So if the gnoll wants to charge at me, it has to go through Agatha if it wants to go in a straight line.
Okay, so Megan, what is Kenna doing?
Putting up her shield and casting tongues.
Okay.
Okay.
And asking what the gnoll was trying to say, if it is a gnoll.
It's actually, it looks like a really large wolf.
Right.
The only thing is, you guys know wolves don't talk, and this one is. So it's been talking the whole time, and now that your spell has been enacted, it is saying things like, "Look at the delicious meat. The big pretty one hurts, but I'm going to eat her entrails." So basically, it is making threats.
Oh, that is entirely unuseful, and you are a piece of garbage.
So you still have a move action and a bonus action.
I will use my bonus action to start tapping my sword against my shield and give fighting here.
Okay.
Can my character? I don't know if this is an on my turn thing, so I figured I'd ask.
Okay.
Can my character make an educated guess what this large wolf thing is at this point, since it's close enough?
Yeah, make an intelligence check.
Okay. 1d20. That would be a 17.
Yes, it's fairly common to find wargs that will travel with goblins and hobgoblins, and this is definitely one of them. And I mean, when I say large, the wolf probably stands, like 4 foot at the shoulder. So this thing is huge, and it is. We lost. I know we lost Samantha.
No, Aggie. No, come back.
That's really not good. We need her.
So the wolf, snarls and looks at the two of you, and growls out, "I will deal with you little ones soon enough," and then darts after Agatha.
Okay.
But I know that's not going to hit her. She's able to smack it upside its head with her glaive and deflect its jaws. So it would be her turn, but she's not here. So Vex, you can go.
Ray of Frost. Pew, pew.
Okay.
So rolling a d20. Wow, I rolled crap. Range, I got an 11.
11 will miss. It hits, but it doesn't seem to penetrate the beast's side.
It cools him off, which is unfortunate because it's a warm day. Anyways, I know what to say. I'm going to backpedal a little bit more. And yeah, I don't want to be in range of this thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to back up a bit.
And with that, you can go, Megan.
All right. Kenna will step forward, sword in hand, and make an attack.
All right.
So that is 14 for the first attack and 11 for the second.
So 14 will absolutely hit, and the 11 will miss.
Okay. So that is and then I will start tapping for inspiration for Vex since Agnetha is not here, and that leaves me with one more use of that today.
Okay. All right, so we lost the player. So I am going to attack for her.
Awesome.
Since she's not here, we will chimprovise, and hopefully she'll find her way back soon. And you had given her inspiration, but I don't think that's going to be enough, so we're not going to bother trying to use that. The one shot, the glaive slams down on the ground, causing the warg to dodge to the side. As it does, Agatha whips the glaive back up and slams it into its side for 14 points of damage. She does way more damage when she's not here.
That's not nice. Wouldn't it be, she has a +4 for her strength. Wouldn't it be higher than that, or?
She was saying +1.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't actually have a copy of her character sheet, so I'm kind of guessing. Your inspiration is a die 8?
Yes.
And actually, it doesn't matter because when she whips that glaive back up, it slams into the side of the warg, caving in its rib cage, and it lets out a final yelp as it falls over to the ground.
Okay.
Now, I will bring to your attention, you guys will realize that the warg basically about 2 rounds ago, 12 seconds ago, howled. So if there's anything in the vicinity, it would have heard that.
Okay. Do you want to coup de grace the 2 goblins that are over there, just to make sure that they stay dead and don't wake up because they're asleep right now? So.
Sorry, guys.
Do we still have coup de grace on this edition?
It's I believe advantage on rolls against things that are asleep.
When they're asleep, I don't think you actually have to roll. I believe it's crit. Unfortunately, I don't have a DM screen handy, but they're sleeping goblins. You can easily slit their throats.
Yep, gonna do that.
Even though you weren't here, Sam, Agatha killed the wolf.
Oh, good. Yeah, sorry, my laptop died. I had not put it on top of my little cooling screen. I put it on top of a cushion, and it overheated and turned off. So sorry about that.
That's Samantha. It's a living thing. Well, sort
of.
So after I cut the goblin throats, I realized that we could have woken one of them up and questioned it, and I cursed my nature of being impulsive.
So, what are you guys doing? Sam, I don't know if you heard, but I was just explaining to them that the wolf had howled, and anything in the vicinity is going to have heard that howl.
I think we're stupid for running in here without help. First of all, I think we should run, and not towards the halflings, but somewhere else and try to gain an advantage. I don't know if it's so smart. I mean, I'm the one person that can really beat the hell out of these guys, and there's a lot of them and only 3 of us.
Well,
we've been traveling for a day. We've been traveling for a day, and they took our kids, and those kids probably don't have long enough for us to go back and get help. I am not going to do that. If you want to go, fine, but I'm going to keep going, and I don't care.
I'm a neutral character. I'm like, they're probably already dead.
No, that is unacceptable.
All right, so you want to stay here and get attacked by wolves and goblins and die, basically. That's what you're telling me.
Better than letting them die.
So what do we do now? What are we gonna do? Because I'm not smart and I have no brain. I'm a good weapon. That's it. So what are we gonna do?
Well, the shroud, the hiding thing is still there, isn't it?
Correct.
Does it cover a total 360-degree angle, or is it just one direction?
It's literally 4 foot by 6 foot. It looks like someone weaved branches and vines together.
So it's kind of directed towards the direction we came from.
Correct.
Okay.
In the side of it, it's on the side of a hillock.
Do we know that the children are in there, by any chance?
You do not.
Monty?
It's just kind of like a little trying to explain it, but you explained it pretty well enough. It's basically just a giant
Yeah, it's like a
camouflage blanket thing.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm imagining it for sure. Yeah, I'm just like, well, we don't even know what's in there. And so far, how many wolves are there? Do we even know wolves, goblins, any kind of a number?
You've
There's
seen
two
two
goblins, I killed
goblins.
them.
You've seen 2 goblins and 1 wolf.
That's it?
That's all you've seen so far.
Oh, then I'm gonna rage and just try to kill this wolf. Is it still attacking me?
No, it's dead.
It's
No,
dead.
no,
Oh,
it's
I killed
dead.
the wolf. So I'm gonna try to kill these goblins. Then I'm gonna go
She
toward.
already killed them.
Oh, they're dead.
Yes,
She kept
she went
asleep and I
into
cut her.
there and killed them while you were gone.
Oh,
no, I can question them. I can question the goblins. I
You already-
have speak with dead.
nice.
Okay.
There you go.
Doesn't allow you to
So
speak
I
with dead
speak
in
with
another
dead on the
language.
goblins. Well, one of the
So
goblins.
everyone is dead, but we haven't looked over the sheet yet, or their little hideout. We haven't looked in there yet.
No.
Okay,
haven't
Well, one
found
of
the
you do
hideout
that, and I'm
yet,
gonna
though.
ask them questions.
good idea. So I'm gonna be the survivalist and go in there and scout out and see what I can find, and you can talk to the dead guy.
Mhm.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
we're already
So,
behind the camouflage canopy.
Yeah.
We just don't know where the hideout is quite.
no. You're on this side of it still. You haven't actually looked on the other side.
Oh, so the goblins came around the camouflage thingy before we stabbed them, or?
Yeah. Okay. So the sequence of events were, you guys noticed that they were there hiding behind the blind, or Agatha did. She told you guys all like ducked behind trees, but not before they spotted you. So they started moving out towards you guys from behind the blind,
Oh, okay.
and then you put them to sleep. Agatha killed the wolf with help.
Okay. Sorry, I was under the impression because they had still, you said mentioned they still had some cover, so I figured they're still kind of behind the blind.
Yeah,
still.
when they had come out of the blinds, they had ducked behind trees.
Oh, okay.
That's where the cover came from. Theater of the mind can get a little rough. So Agatha, you go forward and you kind of like use your glaive to push aside the blind.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing you see is a half a dozen sets of glowing beady eyes coming down a tunnel.
So there's a tunnel behind this.
Yes, and apparently there is
Great.
3 goblins come pouring out of it right now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to yell out to my comrades. It's a tunnel. It's a goblin tunnel. And I'm going to be like, "Here, boy, come here, Monty. Can he help me attack with these, or I got?
He's
I
not
don't
an
know.
attack dog.
He's not an attack dog. Worthless creature.
I have the
So I
best of
go in-
information if you want him to help you, but he doesn't have very many hit points, so
He's
Okay,
basically a dog-shaped horse.
Useless.
yeah, he's a mount.
So it's okay.
The mastiff hate.
Beast.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just attack these goblins that are rushing out at me.
Oh yeah, Monty doesn't have many hit points. You need
No.
a war version of that.
So he shits like a horse. Can't ride him. Well, you can ride him. So yeah, I guess he's about as good as a horse.
He's a riding dog.
There you go.
It's a halfling horse.
So
He can give you affection.
so what are you guys doing? You've got three goblins pouring out of this tunnel, and there may be more coming.
Keep them off me. I need to ask this guy some questions.
I
Done.
think we can kind of assume where the goblins took the kids at this point. We have
Right.
enough. We can deal with them.
Yeah, but I already started casting the spell, and I don't want to waste the slot.
Okay. I'm gonna can I see the entrance?
Yes, you can.
Can I use my minor illusion to make it seem like the ground has given way and that there's like a pit there
Yeah,
in front of the goblins?
make a deception check.
Deception. That is
It's a charisma skill.
okay. Well, crappy. I'm not gonna do well with this one.
But you know what? I will allow you to use your intelligence modifier with it.
Okay.
That would be 19 then.
Oh, nice. So
Nice. There we go. Good job, Daphne.
They actually try to stop before they hit it because they don't want to fall into the pit. So, what is your DC?
My
Spell
spell
DC.
save?
Yep.
15.
All right.
Last I checked.
So the one in front goes, tries to stop short but doesn't make it, and ends up falling on his face, and the other two trip over him. So they're now in a pile of goblins. They clearly know there's not a pit there now, but they are prone. So what are you doing, Agatha?
So they're laying face down.
Yes.
They're falling over. Okay. Well, I'm going to take advantage of that and stomp on their little asses.
Okay. So you can attack with advantage because they are prone.
Yes. I roll a 14. So that's an 18.
So
attack.
roll a second time because you have advantage.
Okay. 11.
Okay,
So 15.
So we'll use the first one. That was better.
Okay.
Roll your damage.
13.
13 damage. So you actually drive your glaive right through the head of one of them, and it ceases to move. Make your second attack roll twice as well again.
Okay. So that's a crit.
No need to roll a second time then. Roll 2d12.
12. 12.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say you just did. You've got 3 dead goblins hanging off of your glaive.
Ah!
You're welcome, Mags.
Oh, thank you so much. That's what I see. That's where we can work together. Your deception and my murder skills.
So, what are you guys doing now?
Questioning a dead goblin.
Okay.
Licking the blood off my blade.
I'm going to stick my head down the tunnel and see if there's more goblins headed this way.
When you look down the tunnel, you can actually see the flickering of firelight off in the distance, and you do hear voices. So when you
I have dark vision, just FYI.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Gnomes.
So basically, the tunnel runs. It's about 8 foot wide, and it runs about 12 feet, and then there's a sharp bend. And what you're seeing the flicker of firelight. Your guess is there's some kind of fire pit or torches or something that's casting light on the tunnel wall, and you can hear the sound of goblins chittering to each other in the distance.
Okay.
I still have tongues going on. It lasts for an hour.
Okay, is that a concentration spell?
I don't think so. I just had it open. Let me check again just to be sure. No.
Okay,
no,
perfect.
it's not.
With tongues, can you understand these goblins then that are in the tunnel?
Saw
Or
the
is that
3
just
halfling children.
Okay.
All right, so you're questioning the goblin. What are you going to ask him? If he's seen the children? And he says, Borth and Hoth, they drug the children into the lauder.
That's the tunnel?
Well, he uses the word lauder. You're assuming that it's inside somewheres.
No, I'm asking him if that's the tunnel.
Oh, you're asking him. Okay. He said yes, and down the tunnel.
Then I cancel the spell, and I'm heading in the tunnel. And I tell my Monty to stay out here.
Before you run in, the halfling friend who's saves me at the moment. Who here has the best? Who here can see in the dark?
That's a good question.
You.
You.
Oh no, the half elf can see in the dark too.
Yeah, I can. Gosh, I didn't write that down. Then.
Well, half elves used to have low light vision, so I
Like
wasn't sure. I
60
figured I'd
feet or something.
ask in character, you know.
Pretty sure it's something like that.
Well, they've got a fire in there, don't they?
They have a fire in there, but there's a corner that you might not be able to see down. I can see it down, but I have great vision, so I just I don't want you to rush down, trip on your feet, and then my illusion gets you too.
Okay, that's fair.
It lasts for a minute. I'm gonna dispel the illusion since it lasts for a minute, and as long as you don't pass a save, everybody believes it.
Can I grab a
I
stick,
keep gonna.
like off the ground or something,
Okay.
like a branchy stick?
If you do that, you might end up setting off either a letting our location be known, and that might be an issue too.
I put the stick back down.
I'm like, what are you gonna do? Play fetch with that? Yeah, put it down.
I was gonna make a stick. I was gonna make a torch, but she brought up that point about like giving away our location, and I don't want to do that. That was probably a smart point to make. So,
I'm gonna kill you, halfling, if you don't get control of yourself.
Well, as far as giving away your position, the wolf howling, and they just sent the 3 goblins down the tunnel, and it does sound like more are coming.
Can you make the 3 of us look like 3 goblins?
Yeah. Like Sam Portal disguising his orcs. That'd be perfect.
I don't know if I have that kind of power yet. I come pretty close. I can turn her into a goblin, and I'll use a minor illusion to turn her skin green.
Okay.
That's as close as I can get at the moment.
Okay. So you do that, and 6 goblins. Well, what are you doing yourself? Are you standing there with them?
I'm making sure to watch the corner to make sure no goblins don't come around and surprise us.
Well, there are goblins coming, but
okay,
now you have 2 goblins standing behind you. Well, goblin-like.
2 goblins standing behind me.
Yeah, the ones you just made.
So we do look like goblins then now.
Yes.
Okay,
Well, one of them looks a lot more credible than the other one, though.
I'm gonna say the halfling is a little more credible than me. I'm like,
no, she actually used, I think, the more powerful spell on you.
on me. Oh wow, that's a good spell.
If I did that, if I was to use the more powerful spell, then it'd be Major Illusion, which is the best I got.
Give it to me, baby. Let's kill these suckers.
I am going to make a deception check and speak to them in Goblin since I still have tongues going, and tell them we have this gnomish prisoner. We need to go to the. Did they say lauder?
Yeah.
Go to the lauder. And that is 17 plus 7 is 24. Deception.
They're bobbing their heads and they totally agree. Yes, let's put the gnome in a lauder. But then they kind of look at your feet and see the 3 the goblin kebabs, the dead goblins, and what?
We're like nothing.
What happened here? What did the gnome do this?
Yes, the gnome did this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We will boil it alive for this.
Great.
Yes, but the lauder first.
And then all of a sudden you see a look come on the goblin's face that you're talking to. And
I'm trying to be quiet.
I don't recognize you, brother.
I'm the cousin of your second wife's aunt.
This is where hobgoblin information comes.
I'm just gonna stick my glaive down his throat now because I'm angry.
Friend. Oh yes, I have anger issues.
Silence him at once.
Well, if you're gonna do that, guy, you can absolutely attack. You can have surprise.
All right, 14, 18. That's an 18
That will hit
on my attack. All right, and I do 2 damage.
Yes, I need to get control of myself.
Gosh.
What are the rest of you doing?
If I did
Pointing at her, going, "Oh my God, we're being betrayed."
Wait, I have a second attack. Let me try again. Suckers.
How many
Oh!
how many goblins are up here at the moment?
There's 6.
So I just rolled a 17, so that's a 20.
That hits.
Okay. And then my damage for that second attack is a 6.
Okay, so between those 2 attacks, you basically just lopped off the lead goblin's head.
Yes.
But the other 5 are really not
Did you want
thinking.
the promotion that badly, really?
I want to find the children, just like you said. Hey, it was not my idea to go into goblin tunnels. Do you hear me? Halfling, okay?
Okay,
Never
and now our cover is completely blown, so I draw my sword.
Never, ever have trusted you. Now I'm just mad. Now I'm going to rage. God damn it.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine. You just do that.
Okay.
I'm going to at this point, if I can, point them with my finger, go bang. I'm going to cast Fireball on them.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do you want me to roll to? Well, actually, I don't have to roll to hit. It's 8d6 fire damage on each of them.
Yes.
Unless they succeed on their save, then they take half.
Yep. Make your saving. Make your roll your damage. I thought you said you didn't have fireball.
I did today. I know it's a cheese spell, but sometimes you just need the flaming fiery fist of doom.
No, I totally agree. So only 2 of them make their saving throw, but I don't think it's going to matter.
With 8d6.
Yeah, I think you're going to slaughter them all, but you can roll your damage.
Wow. Okay.
Trash talk the
let's
halfling and gnomish to Daphne.
19.
I can understand you. I still have tongues going.
Oh shit!
I rolled way too many ones.
I'm like, no, you don't.
No, I
Be quiet.
Didn't
It's
see that.
So they're arguing back and forth as you just incinerate all the goblins there.
Dang, Daff.
I'm going to say something in Dwarvish that you understand. It's going to sound nasty then, since you can understand me.
All right, Sixer, let's go.
So you hear a high-pitched shriek from deeper in the tunnel. What is going on out there?
Coincidentally, I haven't broken my concentration on the major illusion, which means they still both look like goblins at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just quarreling goblins. Nothing to see here. Go back to work, slave.
Yeah, you could just say I accidentally blew down the entrance of the fortress.
There you go. Make it lie. It's easy enough.
Pretty much.
I love Fireball. It's such
Just here and find that larder and get the kids.
All right, so what are you guys doing right now?
Maybe I can intimidate this guy and make him feel like he doesn't want to even question me.
Okay, is there an actual guy looking at us, or is he like screaming from down the tunnel?
Screaming from...
Do you speak Goblin? Because it's tongues is personal range or single target.
I can hear things screaming down the tunnel, though. I can
No,
understand.
I was talking to Agnetha.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if we can speak Goblin at this point, so maybe it's better that my low intelligence gets out of the way and I just shut my mouth. I'm gonna look big with my intimidation. Can I do that? Can I be like, like you don't want to talk to me like that? Get back to work.
Well, you can, but you're like 3 foot tall.
Goblin. Oh, well, that's not gonna help. Then, huh? Is there a way for my muscles to perk? Like,
Well, sure, you can. You can be, try and be an intimidating goblin. Well, so right now, what are you guys doing? You got to do something right now.
Let's head down the tunnel. Pretend like you guys have me contained after I blew up a bunch of your friends, and use that to gain strategic advantage on the next group, and just keep doing the same thing we did here, where they think we're goblins, they talk to us, they lower their guard, and then boom.
So
I'm gonna listen to the gnome. She is clearly smarter than we are.
So there are
clearly
there are
let us do that.
4 more goblins. You basically go down the hall after, like I said, 12 feet you guys have to kind of walk single file. So I guess you're going to walk with the gnome in between you, as if if you're trying to make it look like she's a prisoner.
Okay.
After 12 feet, there's a sharp bend, and then the hall extends another 20 feet into it's kind of like an oblong, rough-hewn cave or chamber, and it's approximately 30 feet wide. There's a large fire pit in the middle. You can see piles of furs all along all around the fire pit, where the goblins probably sleep for warmth. You see some crude furniture, scattered throughout this chamber, and on the far end there is it basically looks like either vines or strips of cloth or cord or rope, but it's got a bunch of bones tied into it, so it's almost making like a curtain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rustling behind the biggest goblin that you've seen thus far, and the thing that makes him look even longer, he's got like a mohawk that's like a foot off of his head.
Mm-hmm.
And in front of him are 4 more goblins, and he appears to be shrieking at them. Megan, you have tongues on, so you hear him basically yelling at them to figure out what the heck is going on. And they were just halflings. How could this be so much trouble?
Well, I don't know about the halflings, but we certainly have a gnome.
Bring me this gnome prisoner. I will lop off its nose.
Now, are you sure that we should be so hasty about this? It knows things.
It knows things? What kind of things? Are you questioning my authority?
Fucking idiot.
I nudge Agatha gently in the back to try to get her to just, charge.
Do what she does.
I think that might be a good idea at this point.
I'm like, there's like 5 of them.
Maybe I should be questioning your authority. I'm just going to try to keep him talking until she does that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should be questioning your authority if you're just going to start lopping off pieces of valuable prisoners like that.
Yeah, what she said.
So, is that what you're doing, Agatha? Or are you going to leap at him?
Not yet. I'm going to see what he does.
So he's like puffing up his chest, and he's marching over towards the gnome.
I'm still standing in front of the gnome because we went single file.
Well,
We're going to hold our ground and see what Tough Boy
Unless I'm
has.
in the back.
you'd probably be in the back because you're the least convincing.
Right, she's in the front. Okay.
I'm going to stand my ground
And
like I'm
where's
confident.
Katie?
What are you going to do, Mohawk boy?
So he draws a large knife
Okay.
and makes the move around the half elven goblin.
So he's got his sword out now.
Yeah, poke him.
Message is a cantrip. So I'm gonna message Agnetha and in her head be like, you should probably attack him because we're having a standoff right now and they'll think it's part of the standoff. We'll just act like we're taking control.
Oh, I'm getting that gesture. Can I kick him in the chest and then take my glaive at his face?
Yeah, you can do that.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to kick him. And does the illusion disappear after I attack then?
Let me double check. As far as I know, until somebody disbelieves it, I believe it basically you're a convincing goblin who just all of a sudden had the foot that extended. As far as I know.
He's going to obviously figure out that I'm a lot stronger than any gnome. I'm going to kick him where it hurts.
That's why you kill him before he can tell anybody else.
I'm going to go for his head. So I'm going to go ahead and make that attack roll. And I roll...
Physical interaction with the image reveals it to be an illusion. So basically, he would realize that she's, because he's physically interacting with her, she's not what she looks like.
Okay. And I rolled an 18 on my attack. Okay.
So you're pretty sure you're going to catch him off guard with your attack.
Okay.
But as your foot rears up to kick him in his head, he grabs one of the goblins standing near him and throws him in front of him. So you kick that goblin in the head instead.
Does
Can
it
I
have a
kick-
concussion?
Can I kick that goblin, dash at him, and go for his head again? Like, coward! How dare you, you impudent
Oh yeah,
swine.
you can absolutely do that.
I'm gonna
So
do that.
what is your strength bonus?
15.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, my strength bonus is 1. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. All right. So you kick the one goblin. Give me a athletics check.
And that's a D20.
Yeah, D20. If you have athletics, you can add that to it, or it's just your strength.
Okay, so it's 5.
All right. So you do not kick the goblin over. He's able to kind of roll with it,
Okay.
and he's like shaking off the blow. So now you can make your second attack
Okay.
at the goblin with the mohawk if you like.
That's a 9.
A 9 is not going to do it. He manages to duck out of the way of your glaive.
Okay.
So with that surprise, I would say the surprise round is over. You guys can roll initiative.
Okay.
And I just always roll so low on initiative.
Looks like it
That's
doesn't
okay, though.
matter. Somebody got a 20.
Yeah. They're probably going to go first.
I'm last, but I need to make a couple trips around the room. So if my turn comes up, I'm going to use Ray of Frost, which is roll d20 plus 7, and then
Okay.
if it hits, it's 2d8.
Okay. So the goblin with a mohawk screams at his companions to grab the insolent cur that just tried to kick him. So you can make either a dex or strength check, or athletics or acrobatics, depending on what you have. As they rush forward, two of them rush forward and try to grapple you, and they're going to work together.
Well, I rolled a 5 plus my acrobatics, I guess is what I would do. That would be a 10.
Okay. They also got a 10, so you guys are tied. I believe.
Was that plus my proficiency?
Yeah, you would add proficiency if you have acrobatics.
Oh, okay, so that would be 13.
Then you actually win. Two of them run forward and grab your wrists, one on each one, and you're able to just kind of like shake them off. And then the other two run forward, and they're not going to try and run by you because they're a little leery. So they're just going to attack you instead of trying to get to your companions.
Okay.
And one of them is going to hit, and one of them is definitely going to miss. So the one goblin ends up face first in the dirt in front of you as it overswings, and while you're kind of like distracted because you're watching the antics of the one, the other one comes in, slips in with his short sword,
Okay.
and slashes at your legs for 7 points of damage.
Dang. Okay.
And then the one with the mohawk shrieks in common, "If you want something done, you must do it yourself." And he comes in with his slashing scimitar, and he is going to miss with the first one, and the second one is going to connect. For 6 points of damage.
So I take 18 damage from these fools? Or 13 damage, sorry.
Yes.
Can we keep him? He's adorable.
And then I don't know who is up next between Vex and Megan.
I got a 3 initiative.
I will go.
I got an 8.
All right, so Megan, you are up.
Okay. I am going to point my sword at Mohawk Goblin, and I am going to shout, "We have had enough of you treating us like garbage and throwing us in the way of other people's attacks. We are not your meat shields." And then I'm going to attack him.
Okay.
And can I also try, like, persuasion as I'm attacking him, like, trying to stir the other goblins to turn on him?
Sure. What do you say what you said again? I'm sorry.
We have had enough of you treating us like garbage and using us as your personal meat shields.
Okay.
Bam!
So you say that. Make your roll.
Okay, these are my attacks.
Okay.
Oh, that's terrible. That's 8 and 10, and then this is my persuasion check. Ooh, that's 22. Oh, no, it's 23 because I get Jack of Trades.
Okay, so the 4 goblins pause as they're trying to figure it out, and the one the Mohawk says, "They're imposters. They're not part of our clan." And the one says, the one that got kicked in the head screams, "It's a trick! It's a trick!" But the other 3 are just kind of looking and trying to figure out what's going on. And
That illusion is gone now, right? We have come to our forms, or do we still look like goblins?
but it's still on, but some of them have interacted with it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And you're up, Vex.
Sleep.
Sleep. That's awesome.
Roll 15, 19 hit points worth of goblins. Starting with Mohawk, if I can. If not,
Yeah, it does not affect him. But then going down the line, let's see. There's 4 of them. The one is injured. You said 19. So
Yep.
three of them slumped to the ground.
Very good.
okay.
The one-
Guys, kill the one that's still up. I want him to be my familiar, the Mohawk one.
Wait,
No accounting for taste.
So with that, now that the 3 of them have collapsed, the 4th one is looking around, and he looks like he's trying to figure out how to get around you guys, and doesn't see a really clear way of doing that. He screams, "Briac!" and throws down his sword. And
can I grab that screaming guy by the neck and have him lead me to the children?
well, that's the one, but the other one, the one with the Mohawk,
He's still alive and like kicking, right?
yeah, and
I need to take him out.
and he
Don't kill
launches
him.
himself. He launches himself at Agatha, screaming in common, "How dare you try and kick me, you wench!"
I was like, "Excuse me, that's a compliment where I'm from. Feel my wrath, sucker." And I'm gonna
Don't kill
roll.
him! Don't kill him!
So
Wait, you don't want me to kill him? Why?
I
his
want him
first
as my familiar.
his first attack misses,
Not familiar. He wouldn't be nice to pet. He stinks and he's green.
and he slashes your other shin for 6 points of damage.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die.
And
So 6 more points of damage?
yes,
Oh my gosh.
and you guys are up.
Like, that's 19 damage so far, right?
I don't pay attention to the damage. You just let me know when you're dead.
That's 19
I'll
damage.
heal you on my next turn.
How much can I take before I die?
How many hit points do you have?
15. Or no, I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. 43.
Yeah, you're good for a little bit.
Sucker, I'm gonna kill you. And I smile at him and like spit the blood aside. I'm like, start laughing.
Well, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna attack this fool right where it hurts.
I want him as my familiar, though.
I'm like, taste my glaive. I don't hear you at this point because I'm mad. Is that okay to do? Wait. Okay, Daphne, why do you want this guy as a familiar?
Because he's cute.
I think you're stupid, and
Are you sure you want him as a familiar, or do you have other plans? Be honest.
That's none of your business. What happens in my tent stays in my tent.
Am I good to do that, Dave?
Yes, you can do whatever you want.
Okay. And I roll a 7. So that's 11.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
he blocks with his scimitar.
Okay. So I'll roll for damage?
No, the
That's
7
9.
misses.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay.
You do have your second attack, though.
Rats.
Okay, here we go. Ah, 20! Yes! Finally some luck.
Okay, roll your damage.
And that's 12.
That's a 12. So he grabs the goblin that just threw down his sword and surrendered, and ducks behind him, and your glaive runs him through, poking out of his back.
Coward!
Should have rebelled when you had the chance.
Ah, you stupid wench! He was my favorite lackey.
Come here once again! It only fuels my anger. You green.
You don't want him for a familiar. He's being belligerent.
That's like the best kind of familiar, though.
I'm
And
like
he's-
looking at you in disgust. I'm like, I'm gonna talk to this lady after we're done with this cave.
Just when you think you know a gnome. All right, you're
I know.
you're up, Megan.
Awesome.
Hey, I
Okay.
don't have racist goblin, thank you.
Cure wounds on Agnatha.
Okay.
That's 1d8
Thank
plus 4.
How much is that?
1d8 plus 4.
1d8 plus 4.
Yes.
Thank you. Let me get my handy dandy dice out. Oops. I'll have to use mine, I guess, because that's not working for some reason. 1d8. That is a 12. So I can take that off of
Your damage.
my damage, right?
Correct.
Okay. Woohoo! Thank you very much, my dear. And then I have 1d8 from you as well. Or did I already use that?
That would have expired by now, I believe.
Yeah, I already used that.
Well,
thank you.
I can give you one more, but that is the last one I have for the day. I still have
Let's
my bonus
save that
action,
one.
so I do that.
I have saved my rage, so why don't you save that? Because we don't know if this is the end of
Okay,
dudes.
that is a very smart point, and I will do that.
So Vex, you are up.
I'm going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Nice.
Oh dear.
The target must succeed at the wisdom saving throw or fall prone and become incapacitated, unable to stand up for the duration, which is 1 minute.
All right. And that which saving throw is that?
Wisdom. And
Okay.
my spell save DC is 15.
Yeah, a 6. He is laughing hysterically.
Okay, tie him up. I have rope in my pack.
Your taste in men.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 sleeping goblins, 1 dead goblin, and a bound goblin.
Can I attack these sleeping goblins with advantage?
You don't even have to roll. If you want to dispatch them, they're just dead.
Okay.
Looking for the larder.
Okay, so like I said, there's that curtain across the way.
Okay.
If you go into that, it leads into a small 3-way intersection, basically. So the tunnel extends like 10 feet in 3 different directions. One is there's a large boulder that appears to be have been rolled to in front of a cave entrance.
Mhm.
There's another set of those curtains, and then directly in front of you and to the left, there is a pen where it's basically looks like a really small cave, but they basically have taken like wooden poles and made a like a fence. And in there,
Nice.
yeah, you actually see the halfling children.
Oh my god, okay. I'm gonna like pull those poles out of the ground if I can and like try and get them out of there.
Yeah, from this side, you can definitely break in there without too much trouble. It's literally designed for that. And, Lily and Lily, Thomas, and Hannah run to you. Their faces are streaked with dirt and tears, and they're hugging you. And thank you so much.
They're, yes, crying and hugging. That is happening now.
Can I like prop them on my back and like try to carry them out of here?
Yeah, you could actually probably carry all three of them if you wanted to.
Okay. So I'm gonna put them up on my back for safety and just like, hey, let's get the hell out of here.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the goblin with the mohawk with me.
Wait,
Shaking my head.
that
Nobody's killing my mohawk minion. I mean, familiar. I mean, one of those.
He's gonna stab you in the back. You saw him like pulling his guys in front of him like meat shields, right?
You are not a good alignment. You are chaotic as shit. I don't know what your
That doesn't mean
intentions
he's
are.
not good.
No.
Look, he can be reformed for the process of good.
He
I
is
mean,
made
like, even he wouldn't argue
die
with,
still.
being safe, not having to fight anymore, being well fed,
Can I
as
trick
long as
her and
he
stab him in the
does
back when
footwork
she's
for
not
me.
watching?
Give her a chance. She might be able to tame it.
No, I want to make a deception. I want to.
No,
try
if
to
she
stab
can't,
her.
then she has to put it down herself. That's the rule.
Ugh, I'm so mad. I think she's crazy.
But yeah, basically, I'm going to, at that point, turn to the goblin and say, look, I'm an adventurer. I don't need you to do any fighting for me. I just need you to basically take care of the horses. I'll bring back money and food, and you'll get some. And you'll be taken care of. You won't have to run around kidnapping children and risking your life to have situations like us coming in and killing you again. So
You realize this is his fantasy that he gets off on is stealing children. I'm gonna kill him.
how do you know? Have you asked him?
Cause he's a goblin.
You're
So-
racist.
I am, and I hate him, and I'm gonna kill him when you're not watching. Watch your back,
Let's just get the kids home.
gnome.
Borscht will do what you say. Borscht will do what you say. Just keep the big scary one away from me.
That's fine.
And I'm like glaring at him, like, yeah, you watch your back, buddy.
But keep in mind, I'm going to put a mark on you, and I'm gonna pull out something to write with, or to mark his skin with, or even if I have to, like a small knife.
Oh, I have ink.
Okay, that works.
To do what
I
with?
give you some ink.
I'm going to basically write some sort of mystical-looking sigil thing, and I'm gonna look at him and tell him that if you decide to backstab me, this sigil will explode like a giant fireball.
So you're giving him a chance, but not really. I'm gonna carry the kids out of this. I'm like, I'm done. Let's go.
Yep. Yeah, he took the kids, so I'm
I
not
care
gonna
less
argue
about
with
this
this.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at. I'm like, I don't care. Those GTFO. I'm ready to be done with this cave.
Borscht will behave, mistress. Borscht will behave.
Okay, good. Come on. I'll plot some of my rations and give him some of them so he has, food in his stomach so he's not hungry.
He probably just ate an entire pig.
How do you know? Have you asked him?
He is an entire pig.
I'm
Let's
fairly
go.
certain the big wolf probably ate most of the loot and he was hungry because of it.
Are you, mistress? Are you going to leave my treasure behind?
Your treasure?
That's probably what's behind the boulder, but I was just thinking we need to get the kids home. If you guys want to try and get in there and take the stuff, then I'm okay with that, but
Don't let him trick you.
I
These
got
kids
my
are-
priorities, so...
Yep, these kids have been away from their parents way too long, and they're scared. Who gives about the treasure?
How long would it take to get near treasure, Borscht?
We just have to dig it up. It's in my chambers.
Don't be fooled by
Okay.
him. He's lying.
All we have to do is dig it up real quick.
He
I
could
doubt
be
he's
lying.
scared.
He could really just be.
Yes, and he'll explode if he does.
That's
Oh, no.
true.
That's true.
Okay.
But- Yeah, but he could also be unleashing other gnomes.
Gnomes?
Or I mean, goblins, not gnomes.
Goblins.
By this point, I'm
That's not
confused
going to help
which
him much
better.
when he explodes.
Excuse me.
Anyways, I'm gonna, while these guys are arguing,
Okay, I
quickly
will
dig
take
the
the
stuff
kids
up and
outside and
have him help me dig the stuff up, and
Yeah. You can do that by yourself. We're gonna leave the cave.
Okay.
gonna sit outside with Monty and the kids.
So he takes you through the second set of curtains, and there's a spot where the ground has been churned up, and he goes over to that. And is he still tied up?
His hands are, so I guess I'll just dig it up myself.
Okay. Well, so you find a sack of coins.
Okay.
There's 35 gold pieces, 525 silver pieces, and 1,050 copper pieces.
Okay.
Pennies.
I'm gonna take 15 gold pieces and then tie the rest to him.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell him this is what's gonna happen if you decide to kidnap more kids. Is I'm gonna take it out of your treasure. This is the price you pay for kidnapping kids, okay? Understand? But you gotta keep the rest of it. Just no more kidnapping. Now let's go, Borscht. Borscht.
So as you guys are walking out, make a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, nice. I rolled a 20.
I still have him on a kind of rope with the tied to his hands thing.
Yeah. Actually, it's just Vex that needs to make the check.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Roll. Wow, I rolled horribly.
You can't go under your passive.
Then I got 12.
Okay. So you see him as you're walking out past the boulder. He keeps kind of looking over there.
Past the what?
The boulder. There's you guys are kind of like in a three-way intersection, and which each one is just a really short tunnel, like 10 feet, and one leads back to the main chamber where you came through. One was his chamber. The other one was the larder where the children are. And but then the one wall, there's a boulder that has just been kind of like rolled in front of an entrance.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna turn to him and ask, why are you looking at the boulder?
It's Troll and Gross's chamber. They had the biggest chamber.
Have you two left already at this point?
I am sitting outside with the kids and the dog.
I'm keeping watch. I'm sort of watching the kids and like how far between the entrance of the cave and where Daphne's at?
It would be like 50 feet away, 60 feet away.
Oh, so I can't keep an eye on both of them.
No, it's around a corner through one set of curtains. There's no way.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I am going to stay with retard gnome so she doesn't get herself killed.
I'm gonna head out because my guess is that those two are going to return, and I don't have the strength or muscle to push that boulder. So I'm going to turn to Broth and tell him it's probably best we get out of here if that's their room. And on top of that, well, they'll die if we come across them, but no point in dealing with that. Plus, I don't think between the four of us we could push it out of the way. So let's just not worry about their room.
I'm like calling to you. I'm like, "Okay, can we go now? Can we go now?"
He looks a little disappointed, but he goes, "Mistress knows best."
Yeah, that's right.
So we're gonna head out and take the kids back and et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, so when you guys return to the caravan, the halflings all rejoice, and you guys are greeted and mobbed by the rest of the children and the halflings, and both the gnome and the halfling get picked up and put up on their shoulders and marched around. They look at you, Agatha, and then they just shrug their shoulders and reach up and try and pat you on your back.
I'm like, it's okay, halflings. I understand.
And there's a lot of tears of joy at the return of the children. The next week goes by uneventful. You are on a ridge looking down at the walls of Gryphongaffe, and the walls look quite new. And from where you're at, you can actually see into the town, and there is a lot of space between the actual walls themselves and the center of town. It looks like the walls have been built out pretty far from where the town actually is. So
room for expansion.
exactly. So we're gonna wrap it up right there for this week, and next week we'll start with you guys getting to Gryphongaffe, or whenever we do this again.
Awesome.
It's one of the things when we stop the stream, I'll talk to you guys and see when you guys want to play again. Thanks everybody for watching, and this is gonna be a regular gameplay that we're gonna do. We're just gonna figure out how often we're gonna be doing it. And with that, until next time, everybody, stay nerdy.
See you later, guys.